The crimson sands of Kepler 442b stretched endlessly beneath a dying sun, painting the alien landscape in shades of rust and shadow. Commander Jothik of the Vortan Expeditionary Fleet lay broken against a jagged outcropping of crystalline rock, her four arms clutched uselessly against her torso. The crash had been catastrophic, her scout vessel nothing more than scattered debris across 3 kilometers of desert wasteland. Her exoskeleton, normally a shimmering blue-green carapace that marked her as one of Vorta Prime's elite explorers, was cracked in 17 places. Pale ichor seeped from the wounds, crystallizing almost instantly in the planet's thin atmosphere. Each breath sent lightning bolts of agony through her thorax. The emergency beacon in her suit had been crushed in the impact. No one was coming. Not in time. Jothik's compound eyes, capable of seeing across 12 spectrum bands, dimmed as her body began the slow process of shutdown. She had survived 43 standard cycles, explored 19 star systems, and made first contact with 7 sentient species. To die alone on this forsaken rock seemed a cosmic joke. That's when she heard it, the crunch of boots on crystalline sand. Jothik's tactical implant screamed warnings, flooding her dying nervous system with combat stimulants. Through blurred vision, she made out a bipedal figure approaching, humanoid, roughly 2 meters tall. The silhouette moved with purpose, carrying what appeared to be a portable medical kit and surveying equipment. Humans. The thought carried equal parts hope and dread. Jothik had read the reports. The species that had burst onto the galactic stage barely 2 standard cycles ago with their rickety faster-than-light drives and aggressive curiosity. The species that every other civilization whispered about in diplomatic chambers. Too reckless, too emotional, too dangerous but also too brave, too stubborn, too impossibly resilient. Holy hell! A voice crackled through her translator implant. Male, young. Control, this is James Reeves. Survey Team 7. I've got a survivor out here. 410, I think. She's in bad shape. The human, James, dropped to his knees beside her, his face obscured by an environmental helmet. Through the faceplate, Jothik could see concerned brown eyes scanning her injuries with startling intensity. Hey, can you understand me? James asked, his gloved hands hovering uncertainly over her cracked carapace. Nod once for yes if you can hear me. Jothik managed the slightest movement of her head. Okay, good. James was already unpacking his medical kit with swift, practiced movements. My name's James. I'm with the Human Survey Expedition. Your ship went down about 6 hours ago. We picked up your crash signature from our base camp, 30 clicks south. I'm the closest responder, 30 kilometers. The human had traveled 30 kilometers across hostile terrain to reach her. Alone. I'm going to be straight with you, James continued, his voice steady despite the situation. I've got basic xenobiology training, but I've never treated a Vortan before. Your people breathe a nitrogen-helium mix, right? Higher pressure than this atmosphere? Another painful nod. Right. Okay. James pulled out a portable atmospheric generator, crude human technology, bulky and inefficient compared to Vortan engineering, but functional. He began adjusting the settings, consulting a datapad with frantic swipes. I'm setting this to match your homeworld's atmospheric composition as close as I can. It won't be perfect, but it should help. Within moments, a shimmering field enveloped Jothik's upper body. The pressure increased and suddenly breathing became marginally less agonizing. Her secondary lung sacs inflated properly for the first time since the crash. There we go, James said, relief evident in his tone. Now let's deal with these wounds. What followed was the most peculiar medical treatment Jothik had ever experienced. James worked with a combination of technical precision and improvised creativity that defied her understanding of proper medical protocol. He used biogel compounds designed for human tissue, modified on the fly with chemical additives from his surveying kit. He stabilized her fractured exoskeleton with compressed polymer strips, materials meant for repairing equipment, not bodies. It shouldn't have worked. By every principle of xenomedicine Jothik had studied, the treatments should have been incompatible, even harmful. But humans, she was learning, didn't particularly care what should or shouldn't work. My colleague Lisa is bringing the emergency transport, James explained as he worked, his voice a constant stream of reassurance. She's a xenobiologist, actually knows what she's doing, unlike me. Should be here in about 20 minutes. Just need to keep you stable until then. Jothik tried to speak, but her vocal synthesizer was damaged. Instead, she activated her emergency text communicator, projecting glowing Vortan script into the air between them. Why risk yourself for me? Your species barely knows mine. James paused, looking up from his work. Even through the helmet, Jothik could see his expression, puzzled as if the question itself made no sense. Because you needed help, he said simply. That's reason enough, isn't it? The pure, uncomplicated honesty of it struck Jothik like a physical blow. In Vortan culture, every action carried calculated social weight, obligations, hierarchies, cost-benefit analyses, the idea of risking one's life for a stranger from another species. Expecting nothing in return was almost incomprehensible. Yet here was this human, hands steady as he sealed her wounds, asking why he wouldn't help. The characteristic hum of human propulsion technology grew louder, and a boxy transport vehicle crested a nearby dune. A woman emerged before it had fully stopped. Lisa, Jothik assumed, carrying substantially more sophisticated medical equipment. James, status? Lisa called out, already running toward them. Stable, but barely, James replied. Use the field kit and some creative chemistry. She's tough. Been holding on for hours. Lisa dropped beside them, her scanner already sweeping over Jothik's body. Compound fractures, fluid loss, partial organ failure. James, this is incredible. You actually managed to slow the crystallization process. How did you? She stopped, shaking her head. Never mind. Help me get her loaded. Together, with surprising gentleness, the two humans lifted Jothik onto a medical gurney. The atmospheric field moved with her, maintained by portable generators. Lisa administered proper xenobiological treatments, her hands moving with expert confidence. As they secured her in the transport, Jothik managed to project one more message. The galaxy calls your species dangerous, reckless. James climbed into the transport beside her, checking her vital monitors. He smiled, that peculiar human expression, baring teeth in a gesture of warmth rather than threat. Yeah, well, he said, maybe being a little reckless isn't always a bad thing, especially when someone needs help. The transport lifted off, carrying them toward the human base camp and advanced medical facilities. Through her fading consciousness, Jothik processed the experience with her analytical mind. She would survive because a human had crossed 30 kilometers of hostile terrain on nothing but hope and determination. Because two humans had improvised solutions that violated every established protocol. Because they had decided that one alien life was worth the risk. The galaxy feared humanity's recklessness, their emotional decision-making, their refusal to accept limitations. But perhaps, Jothik thought as the sedatives Lisa had administered finally pulled her into healing sleep, the galaxy had misunderstood. Perhaps what others called recklessness was simply humanity's refusal to abandon those in need. Perhaps their emotion wasn't weakness, but the very source of their strength. She had been left wounded and alone beneath an alien sun, certain of death until the humans came. Word count, 1047 words ये रही आपकी HFY short story. मैंने realistic aliens, Vortan species, create किए हैं जो physically और culturally humans से different हैं. Story में human compassion, improvisation और bravery को highlight किया है जो HFY genre की soul है. Lisa और James दोनों characters को include किया गया है और third person perspective maintain की है throughout.